So, here we are. This is going to be my first Minecraft video. Um, I feel like my world is finally built up enough that it's worthy of YouTube and your views. I appreciate it if you're checking it out. So I've been working on this world probably the entire time I've played Minecraft. I've had a couple others, but I've stuck with this one for a really, really long time. And I've built up this nice big base. So that little tent we just came out of, that's the actual spawn point for the map. This is where I showed up, and I saw that cliff, and as any good Minecrafter would do, you look at a sick-ass fucking piece of cliff, and you put a castle on it. So, here's my, as I've called it, a sun temple, because originally it was just that thing up on top. And it's lined up so that when the sun and the moon come, they go right up the middle. I'll show it to you real fast. This is my, I guess, Greek-inspired archway. There you go, my little sign, Sun Temple. I have these cactuses up for defense, but with the little lake here, I guess they don't, no monsters can come. They used to. That was a pain in the butt. Oop. So, this is, I guess, the main floor. This is a monster spawner inspired by Colby Cheese. He definitely hit on a great idea here. Mine's not as big as his, so it doesn't have the right kind of collection rate, but you can see some guys coming down. And then upstairs here is my bedroom. It's kind of a work in progress, as is a lot of this. Like right back here, I'm trying to expand this into just a giant hole in the mountain and keep it kind of dark, but then in the distance see other rooms and stuff. Come down here, this is, everyone's furnace room that, looks like that. So a lot of this mountain's carved out, and there's stairwells going up and down like this, and little rooms that you could go walk in. This happens to be one of the rooms facing the front of the building. But I don't really go in them, because there's no reason to go through a whole mountain to get to a tiny little room. This is the downstairs train depot. It can take you out to a mine that I have, and then that goes out to that sphere that you guys will see in a minute. And upstairs is my castle, or a part of the castle, complete with another room, a library. I'll show you this. I have a neat little reading room that I kind of like up here. Nice little spot. You can see off in the distance a bridge I had built, and in that direction is that mine I had just mentioned. If you go down, this is just a little patio I put out on the top of this mountain. It was already pretty flat like this when I found it, so that's what gave me the idea. Giant gold-capped obelisk. And this is a fairly decent view of my big desktop. Yeah, I don't know about the rest of you, but I think those portals sound scary as shit. I do not like having that in a castle because I hear it all the time. So this is a staircase right up into the Sun Temple. This is that giant construction you saw on the top of the mountain, on top of that cliff. And like I said, you can see the sun travel all the way down. This was the first thing I actually built on the map. This is what prompted the rest of all the construction. It just opens up right on the very top of the mountain. There's a look at my obelisk. And like I was saying, here's just some more winding passages in the mountain. I never really take them. There's a good view. Got a little beach house down there. I have, I don't know, I guess it's an ornament that I just decided to string from this archway. That archway was natural. It's pretty cool. So, yep, more passages. This is a bonfire I set. This is a rail connection down to that beach house and also over to the ornament. And here's where we begin to see a lot of that construction I was talking about, that huge hole I blew up. This is all part of it. This is just more stuff inside that mountain. Obviously not as developed as the rest of it. So here we are back again at the castle. And I'm going to take us for a little train ride down to the Death Star. This was my experimentation with those redstone repeaters that just came out. So you hit it, and a couple seconds later, you'll see, boom, you get a light flash, and the track changed. So the reason that you need that delay is because if you need to take hold of this accelerator, if you just push the button, the track will go back too fast. So you hit it again, you got plenty of time to speed up, and we're on our way. So here's the Death Star. As we roll by here, we'll get a cool glimpse of a harbor I've been making. There's a couple houses, I'd like to put a few more in. But the Death Star, just because it's a giant sphere and works perfectly, I decided to make into a terminal. So, you know, that direction is my base. This goes out to a desert I found and have some works in progress going. This goes off in the direction of snow, and I've got some similar things. This is a future site. Maybe I'll show a video. I've been looking at a couple guys' new ideas for monster spawners. Nothing against Colby Cheese. His work's awesome. But, I don't know, I was thinking about making a tower kind, or a sky spawner trap, but I don't know, I'm still thinking about it. So here's another view of that harbor. Like I said, only 2 houses. It could use more. I really just go spend the night in the captain's cabin on that ship. So this is, I don't know what I even want to call it. It's a new area. The first time I came out here, I dug that track all the way over, but I always knew I wanted to build a tower here. And I just did this a couple days ago. It's pretty cool. I actually have something I've been trying to figure out for a while that I think worked out pretty well. So this is the very top of the tower. Down there's a little beacon thing. I've been putting those up around the map. I think that's cool. This is the incomplete second station that takes you over to the snowy mountain. There's nothing built over there yet. Hopefully one day. So I'd spent a long time trying to figure out how to make spiral staircases, and it took me a while because I had never done very much with half steps and just didn't know how it would work. But I think it turned out pretty good. I believe that the diameter from that edge to this edge is 15? No, it's 11. It's an 11 diameter, and then this opens up into a bigger one. This is all just that tower. I think, let's get a better view. I think the spiral worked out pretty good. I'm happy. And so I have it continuing on down. I'm going to begin a diamond mine down this direction. But I thought it'd be cool to keep that spiral feel the whole way up and down. So this is the bottom of the fort. Got my nice ass walls. I'll just run you real quick up. This was my preliminary spiral staircase. This is where I worked it out because I knew it wouldn't be as big, but I like the way it looks. And that's how I built the other one. I think the other one might be a little bit bigger. But, so here's my beacon like I told you about. You can see it from real far away at night, which is good because I try not to light up the outside of my bases, just the insides. I don't know if it's because I want monsters to be there or it looks better at night. Could be all of the above. So I'm still working on this. I know that this deck kind of looks weird, but we'll see how it turns out. The middle, in between the 2 walls, there's actually, it's a double layered wall. I might build something in there, but that's for another day. There's no point really rushing you guys over to the snowy mountain because there's absolutely nothing there. There's some really neat landscapes, but this is a tour of my construction. So we're going to take the track back to my sphere as it's turning dusk. and just keep going this direction all the way out into the desert, and we'll call it a wrap. I'm kind of glad it's going at night now. It'll be a cool view of my mountain. Everything just always looks better at dusk. So I really like this track now. This track is just 100% awesome. You get the coolest view of my mountain base. I just forgot. Or I remembered I forgot to show you guys what I have down at the bottom. I flooded the lower half of the sphere, so because I wanted to keep it dark, I don't know, I really like the way the lights work. Makes it look kind of vaulted or something. So I wanted to keep the bottom dark, but that obviously meant that monsters would spawn all the time. So I flooded it, and now they kind of go, some of them drown, most of them just float around their whole lives. And there's an underground tunnel that you can take, and if you see the items down there, it's a loose-knit monster trap. So this is the Sun Temple in all of its glory. I like the way it looks at night with those fires. That's that bonfire we ran by. Also, beneath that mountain is my first attempt at, that two-gap, I don't know what to call it properly, a diamond mine where you're just trying to maximize the number of blocks mined over the number of blocks revealed. So that was right below there, right next to my base. It's pretty handy. And this track is so long, it needs another booster, or you slow down before the next curve. One of the things I was watching some other people's videos, and it seems like they just would use way too many accelerators. I don't know the actual numbers on it, but I think if you reached max speed on an accelerator and you maintain the same vertical level in Minecraft while riding a cart, you can go 250 blocks or something like that. Like, it's a ridiculous amount of distance, but I don't know, I was thinking it was a waste of resources. So this is the Sands of Time, as I've cheesily called it. I have a nice big hourglass and another one of these beacons, except this is sand themed. And here's where I got that spiral idea. I was working with the normal steps, which obviously do not spiral very well. So because this one looks so crappy, I really wanted to make a better one. I have my little room looks out. This isn't complete yet, but I want to have cactus running all the way down to the end of the desert. I'm about halfway done, and I think that looks pretty cool. We just run outside. I'll give you a glimpse of the hourglass. The inside's actually not completely filled with sand, because I was thinking maybe I could have like a mine come out into or go into from the hourglass. I haven't done anything. It's a pain in the ass working with sand one block above you. So that's just been too much of a headache for me to want to settle down on. We got some monsters over there. This was also the location I first found my first wolf. Happy day. Everyone loves when they first get their first wolf. But mine died that night. I had just finished construction of this, and I ran out and I found that wolf, so I was bringing him back. And when we got here, there were monsters everywhere. And we had a huge epic battle, and long story short, my first wolf died protecting me. As grim as that sounds, Minecraft role-playing has definitely got its own perks. But, so this is just a cool entrance I made to this Fako base out in the desert. There's cactuses all around this big hole that my beacon is in. It's kind of like a pit of carcoon or something. I'm really rolling with those Star Wars analogies. So that's about all I've got really to show you guys on my map. I hope you liked it. Appreciate you stopping by and watching. Maybe I'll make a couple more. But yeah, that's all. Have a good one.